100% stamina. Nobody can funk for longer. Nobody.
Minutes after 9, it's Colin Faver on KISS. Many thanks to Steve Jackson. Steve will be back with you at 10 in the morning here on KISS. And another rundown of the KISS House Music Chart, same time next Tuesday. My special guest tonight, Lawrence Burden, Octave 1. I'll be talking to him around 10 o'clock. called Mix Up Volume 1 by Taku Ishino. And I Fought Free were in fact 4 is the title. And I got that sent out from Sony Records in Germany, so should be available on import. I tell you the tracks I started off with: Amira Man, Rescue on Definitive, and then I played Time Blind, Interrupt on All Ears Records. Colin Faver on Kiss, with you through till 11. This is DJ Slip, Chapel Perilous. Overdrive Records, that's VR Volvox, a 10. This Friday there's a Grove Party with Outline, Space DJs, Subhead, NAD and PH Factor. There's limited tickets available from Fat Cat, Pure Groove, Yucatec, King Size. And it's going to be at a central London's location from 10 till 7 with a free bar. Tickets are just £7 in advance and £10 on the door. That's Grove this Friday. Talking of Outline, here's a new single. New single from Misja and Tim, that's Extension on X-Trex Records. Play that especially for Scott Bowman and Carl Shorten, thanks for the nice letter. And also to Addy, hope you're feeling better and you'll soon be back to work. And lots of love. Coming up in around 5 minutes or so, going to be talking to my special guest tonight, Lawrence Burden, Mr. Octave One from Detroit, so stand by for that. This is Colin Faver on Kiss FM. With me in the studio tonight is Lawrence Burden, also known as Octave One. Hi, Lawrence.
Hey, what's happening, Colin?
In fact, you're a third of Octave One. There's another couple of Burdens.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Who are they?
It's my brother Leonard, who's, they're both younger than I am, and Lionel, the other two members.
And have you been together right from the beginning? Have they been involved with you?
Yeah, we sure have. We've been doing it together from the very, very start when we first started on Transmat.
When you actually first started making music, were you DJing or you were a musician?
Actually, before
How did you first get involved?
Oh, okay. Actually, I was DJing for a while, and all three of us, we were all DJing. And my brothers happened to get this brainiac idea to start buying drum machines. And once they bought a couple of drum machines, I was hooked. Because I was always into, as far as playing, into jazz. I was a saxophonist, and we all came up playing piano. It was just a requirement in our home, to a certain age.
You actually played in a band?
Yeah, a couple of jazz bands. And I kind of shied away from music to start spinning, as far as making music to start spinning. Mm-hmm. Then I got into these electronic instruments, and I was hooked, man. It was like a drug.
And what kind of music were you listening to at this time?
About that time, I was listening to, on top of listening to a lot of early Detroit techno, Kevin Wan and Derek, of course. You just had to have. I was really a big KMS fan. That was my biggest. Anything Kev put out on KMS, I just nabbed it. It didn't matter. I just, I went to the store, give me 2 copies. I was a 2-copy fiend of everything.
Same here, actually. Do your brothers actually DJ or produce under their own names, or?
Actually, they don't DJ. They don't DJ anymore, but they are still producing. We are producing under a variety of names. Octave One, Never on Sunday. We've done some things under Metro D. We even snuck a 12-inch by an artist named Militia on, I think it was on one of Kevin Saunderson's labels. Oh, wow. Who haven't we did something? Random Noise Generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
So when did you actually begin making your own tracks?
Wow, that had to be around 1989, I think. I had actually came off of me and my brother Lionel. We were touring with a jazz pianist, Bob James, and he's
the Bob James.
Yeah, the Bob James. And we had just got off of a tour with Bob James, and I had this kind of jazz influence, in me, and it was time, and they said, and that was actually the first times I really had a chance to play with the keyboard as far as strings and stuff. Before it was just drum machines. I just used to like bang my head with a lot of drum beats, and I started getting into actually holding some notes on a keyboard, and I fell in love with it. And they were already doing it before me, so it was just like, hey, you're late. I was always the late one anyway.
Okay, the first track we're going to hear is from that first ever release, which is nice to know I had in my collection. It's the Octavation EP, and this is Nicolette, one of my favorite tracks. Octave One, Nicolette. Octave 1, Nicolette, from the first EP. Tell me how that track came together. Did it take you very long?
You know what? We just got into a mood. It was just a mood we just fell into, and before you knew it, the track was actually finished. We looked up, it was just one of those kind of days. It was kind of sunny, and we just fell in love with certain string chords and different drum programmings, and before you know it was evening, and the track was completely finished. And we listened to it for probably about 2 weeks, just nonstop. We just kept listening to the track over and over and over again.
So did you actually have your own studio at this time? Just like stuff at home?
Yeah, actually we started with our own studio away from home. It was a building that we were renting on 8 Mile, 430 West 8 Mile Road.
Right, I was going to ask you. So the first EP was the first 430 West release, yeah?
Yeah,
the
sure
first
was.
Octave 1 release. And so now we know the mystery of the number. Okay, the next track we're going to listen to is one that you chose, Through Darkness. Why did you choose this one?
It's kind of a strange mood that we were in, and it's not quite a dark track, and it's not quite a light track as far as techno goes, and it actually kind of seems like it goes through a transition where it starts off in the darkness and kind of ends up in the sunlight. So it was just like, oh, perfect title. It feels the same way, you know.
This is Octave 1, Through Darkness. Colin Faver on KISS. My special guest tonight, Lawrence Burden from Detroit. You also have another label, Direct Beat.
Yeah.
When did that begin?
Wow, Direct Beat is... Actually, it started probably about a year or two after 430 West. It was our electro techno, I call it techno bass. The world is calling it electro, but it's techno bass stuff because we kind of took what was already electro and added to it. We added like a Miami bass style bottom end as far as kicks were concerned.
Well, the original techno was electro.
Yeah, it really was.
It one's early stuff. And is there still a scene in America for, in Miami for that kind of music?
Oh yeah, actually the techno bass, the electro stuff, that's huge. It's quite big in the States, especially in Detroit. It's a lot of us techno artists out here that are making 4/4 beats, but in Detroit they're spinning the electro techno bass stuff. I mean, it's big in every club you go to.
Wow, that's interesting.
You know, whether it be urban or suburban, strip clubs, everything.
I know there was...
Scratch that.
No, that's cool, man. There was a big scene in Miami. Is that still happening as well?
Yeah, actually it
Miami
is.
bass thing?
Yeah, we were just down there, and actually the group Aux 88, they're touring in Florida right now. When I was on my way over here, they were leaving out to go to Miami, Palm Springs, a bunch of different places in Florida. So they've been doing a lot of touring in the southern states as well as around in and around Detroit.
So the next track we're going to play is actually an Aux 88 track. Who are Aux 88?
Aux 88 are William Smith and Tommy Hamilton with their DJ Digital with a J.
And do they play live as well?
Oh yeah. They just got off a Marlboro tour in Germany, and these guys are, once they come to the UK, it's over with, because they're not like any techno band you ever saw before. They're really musicians, really tight musicians.
Maybe we should think about that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this is my Aux Mind.
I would change the record, but I can't, because all I hear is my AUX
Aux 88, my Aux mine. There's quite a big electro scene in Germany as well, I think, making quite a lot of the music as well.
Oh yeah, actually it's been coming so much that when I go over and spin in Germany, I love doing like a real big set of electro, and it's a lot of labels that sprung up, you know, and pretty much I'm really surprised, but a lot of them is like, hey, you know, we got into the direct beat, so we started this label, and so we kind of sit back and say, God, we actually started something around the world. It's cool that a lot of different scenes want to take the credit for it, but it started like, it really never left Detroit. It was way back in 90, 91 when we kicked this thing off, but it just took this long for it really to build up steam, you know.
Are you in Germany or Europe in general a lot?
Actually, yes, mostly in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
I had a chance, this is my first time to London, but I had a chance to do some things in Scotland, which was cool. Those are maniacs up there, I love them.
Yeah, they're pretty crazy.
yeah. But I do a lot of things in Germany and a few things in Russia.
You actually, Russia, yeah?
Yeah.
How'd you find it there?
Oh, man, it was great. It's like breaking new ground, you know?
Damn right. And you played at Mayday as well, yeah?
Yeah, the last couple of Maydays at, what was it? No, it wasn't 10. I forgot which ones. But the one in Frankfurt and the one in, my mind is slipping with age.
I don't remember the number. How did you find Mayday? Was that the biggest thing you've ever done?
Yeah, actually it was. And it was insane because here I am coming from Detroit where maximum, a huge party in Detroit is like 2,000 people. And to come over to Mayday was just like, it was 2,000 people in the hallway. It was just like culture shock, you know.
In the bathroom.
Yeah, really. And they're screaming, and it's wild. I love it.
I mean, when you play a big party like that, do you find you can make contact with the audience just the same?
Oh yeah. Actually, I like both ends of the spectrum, smaller clubs and the big kind of arenas. You know, the big arenas you can kind of get away with more, I think, because the crowds are just jumping around and they're insane anyway. And you can get away, you can do odder things where you really might not be able to do it in a small club. Because you jump off into a too big of a deep end and people are like, where is he going with this? And will he ever bring us back, you know? So, arenas, they're cool. I like both sets.
How did you find Deep Space last night in London?
Oh, man, it was great. You know, the sound system, first thing when I stepped into the club, I just got lost into the music because the sound was like listening. It was like being in my studio. I wish I could have that much bass, but it was actually like being in my studio, and I freaked out over the whole experience. You know.
Oh, that's good. So you'll have to come back again.
Oh yes, definitely.
Next track we're going to listen to is an Octave 1 from the Symbolic EP, which is one of my favorites, the Symbiont. Tell me about this track. Why did you choose it?
Oh wow, the Symbiont, because it's like some kind of strange space creature, but it's a jacking space creature.
Jacking.
Yeah, it jacks the box, it jacks people's earlobes. So that's why I got into this. It had to be played. It had to be played.
This is Octave 1, the Symbiont. Colin Faver on KISS, my special guest tonight, Lawrence Burden from Detroit. Have you ever played live as Octave One?
Not yet. We're going to do our first thing in the city of Detroit. We had to wait and do the first one in the city. And it's probably going to be around in November. We're planning a big party in Detroit with like all the DJs from Kevin Saunderson, Kenny Larkins, everyone you can think of.
Did we get a job too?
So that would be insane. But we're going to do the first set probably at that party.
And you planning a special stage show for this?
Yeah, it's under wraps. It's going to be a secret thing.
Okay.
We want to shock people.
Underground Resistance, are you involved in any way with Mike?
We're good friends. Musically, we haven't did anything a lot as far as techno. Mostly on the house end of the spectrum. Mm-hmm. And not so much as techno, but we got some things in the work. We're going to shock some people.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if there's anybody else in Detroit you're planning to work with in the near future.
Yeah, actually there's quite a few, but we're going to save that for our album. It'll be out before Christmas.
That's another question, man. Octave One album, when are we going to see that?
It should be somewhere around October, November. And it has a lead cut on it, Images from Above. And it's pretty deep. It's not what you'll expect, or you might expect it. Who knows? It might be a throwback.
I never know what to expect. Okay, last track we're going to listen to Alien FM, the double set that came out, Infinity. Tell me about this.
Oh, wow. The Infinity track, when I heard it, I fell in love with it immediately. It was just something different. And it was mental. I just sat there and I listened to it probably about 20 times back to back. And it was just a real deep cut, very deep cut.
This is Alien FM.